I'm not talking about
Keeping it for a year was not a good idea.
So that was a mistake in retrospect. We will not repeat it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
No, don't try to backtrack now. Don't try to, oh, I made a mistake. No, you didn't. You knew exactly what you were doing. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the channel, Mal the Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. Appreciate every last one of you guys coming over to my channel to check out the content that I'm putting out. If you enjoy these political content and things like that I put out, make sure you click this right here so YouTube can notify you when I do videos just like this. And also be sure that you're following me on all the platforms you see listed above and below. And do not worry about the spelling of Mal the Renaissance Man with Rumble. I know it looks weird. It's supposed to be spelled that way, but I appreciate y'all being concerned about it not being spelled right. It's not supposed to be, unfortunately. Rumble doesn't have things set up to where you can change that yet, which is strange. Anywho, got to talk about this because you guys know I'm going to stay on. I don't care about anybody trying to flip around and say, nobody's even talking about C-19 anymore. Blah, blah. I'm not going to let this. I'm not going to, as long as I keep finding out things new, I'm going to continue to put it back in a bunch of you lunatic's face. I'm not talking about you who you really felt that what you were doing for yourself and your family by getting the Fauci ouchie hokey pokey clot shot, you thought that was the best thing. I'm talking about you ones that was all on this high horse like y'all were cream of the crop. You guys all going through the whole dang on, you guys all going through the nation and everything. I got my vaccination card. I can go into the grocery stores. I can go into restaurants. I can go on the airplane. I can be in front of the line with TSA because I got my card and we're considered to be first class. I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about you guys are all, if you don't put on your face diaper, you can put grandma in danger. You can kill your children, Ty. You will be responsible for killing your children and all those in pediatrics. I'm talking about you loonies. I'm talking about you dimwits. I'm talking about you morons. I'm talking about you ignorant folks. That's who I'm talking about. Ty, what makes you bring up this? What are you talking about? Fauci lied, and he's been lying. We've been saying it for years, but oh no, you guys are, trust the science, trust the science. Fauci has been this. What about you, Ty? It's so amazing to me that somebody can get y'all to believe that 2 + 2 is 18. When all of us been taught the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of mathematics and everything like that, if you've been taught 2 + 2 is 4, it's still 4. What are you saying it for, Ty? Those of us that went through a portion of medical school, we all had to learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of pharmaceuticals, virology, genealogy, cytology, biology. And for him to turn around and do what he did, and you got all these other medical professionals beside myself saying these things, you guys still roll with him because he's Fauci. He's da-da-da-da-da. Now look what he's saying. Check it out.
All right, Dr. Anthony Fauci finally reversing course on the controversial COVID-era push to keep schools closed.
I kept on saying, close the bars, open the schools as quickly and as safely as you possibly can. But initially, to close it down was correct.
I'm not talking about initially.
Keeping it for a year was not a good idea.
So that was a mistake in retrospect. We will not repeat it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Huh. Our next guest sits on the LA Unified School Board, which was closed for more than a year, despite his calls to reopen earlier.
Nick Melvoin joins us now. Nick, your thoughts about Anthony Fauci suddenly realizing the schools should be open. Does he not realize we watched him do nothing to get those schools open?
Well, and unfortunately, it wasn't just Dr. Fauci. In California, local school boards were prevented from reopening without the sign-on off of our teachers union, who refused to for over a year. And so I saw then the harmful effects of closures on kids, but the mental health effects actually predate COVID, which is why yesterday I'm really proud of what we did to ban student cell phones. But yes, kids need to be in school in person with other kids without their cell phones interacting with one another. Anyone who was on the ground in schools could have seen this and did see this and did try to speak out at the time.
Nick, he said in that soundbite, I kept saying to open schools. I kept saying to open schools. We would have been jumping for joy if he had ever said that. Listen to this. This is a flashback of what he said.
That right now we have to start implementing both containment and mitigation. And what was done when you do closing the school is mitigation.
If you have a situation in which you don't have a real good control over an outbreak and you allow children to gather together, they likely will get infected. And if they get infected, the likelihood that they will bring the infection home.
So there he is. He says in the beginning, but he continued to say it throughout. And that's why schools like your district decided to close, because they were looking to the teachers' unions and the experts in Washington, like Dr. Fauci. Brown University did a study in kids whose schools were closed and met online for 2020 through 2021, that school year. They performed 13% lower on math and 8% lower in reading. And Nick, are you still seeing the impacts of COVID?
We are, both academically, and I think what keeps me up at night as a former teacher and now school board member is the mental health effects that this had on kids. And partially it's because they were home, they were isolated, they were on their screens, which is why it's so important to get kids in school physically and off their cell phones, which is what the LA Unified School Board voted to do yesterday. But yes, we are still seeing the deleterious effects on kids' mental and physical health from these closures, which is why I hope more school districts will take the lead from LA and ban student use of cell phones during the school day, which I'm excited that the board passed yesterday, and really leading the country on this idea to get kids back to being kids again.
Right. Fauci could have used his star power, and he had plenty of it, and power with the administration to lean on your unions in order to get those schools back open. Then we found out 6 feet apart didn't matter at all. No one understands where that came from. But your ban on student cell phones is huge. When can we see this actually done in the classroom?
This will go into effect next school year. We're working with our schools right now to implement it with cell phone lockers, with pouches, and really the idea to get the kids off the screen, get kids off of their social media apps. You know, the U.S. Surgeon General just said this week that there should be a warning on social media apps for teens. But yes, I mean, I think too often the society, and it's what you were talking about earlier with the school closures, we think about the effects of adults, like with schools and with COVID, and not the effects of kids. And people were saying in that case, you know, you got to protect adults who are working in schools. Well, what about the children? What about their effects? What about their being home for a year? What about their effects on social media and with their cell phones? And so yesterday we took a step. So starting in the next school year, students will have phone-free days, and I think their academics will improve, their mental health will improve, their physical health will improve. And again, we can just let kids be kids. Right, and if one kid gets banned, it's a problem. But if everyone's got to put down their phones, I think they'll say, thank you, parents. Thank you, officials. And that's the idea. And I told our teachers and principals, let me be the bad cop. Right now, the enforcement has been so discreet, and a lot of teachers are spending more and more time policing this. They're not able to teach. And so I want to remove the onus on teachers and principals, let the school board take the blame for this. And I do think that parents and teachers and principals will thank us. And I hope other districts and schools will follow suit. They are. Even parents over here on the East Coast are thanking you, hoping that other states follow suit. So thank you so much, Nick. It is great. It's easy to tell your kid, you're just not allowed to have it. You're going to get in trouble if you do it. Not our fault. You can't do it. No other child is doing it either. We'll have you back next year to talk about the success of this program. Thanks, Nick.
Oh, did you hear that, YouTube? Y'all didn't hear that part where Fauci said, so can I get those videos back when I said shutting down schools? It's not going to, can I get those videos back? Oh, wait, YouTube got rid of those videos. But guess what? It's okay, because every video that I do, I record it. I keep evidence of it, so I'm able to hold it. So just in case there's this large class action lawsuit against YouTube or something like that, I will have my video for evidence that I uploaded, and I end up taking a screenshot when I upload it, and I screenshot it when y'all said y'all taking it down and gave me a community strike for disinformation or misinformation. Yes, they did that. Well, anybody go against what Dr. Fauci says, punish them, and that's what they did. We knew it. We told y'all the mask didn't work. We told you that whenever they came along with this Fauci, hokey pokey clot shot, that there's no guarantee it's going to work or not work, because it has not been studied. There was no 3 to 5 year period of them doing it on test subjects, whether it be mice or people, and yet you took it. And now that some of you guys have been hurt or injured by it, you can't come back to sue. You want to know why? Because the packet that was given to us when the stuff first started hitting the fan, it says that you are voluntarily taking it, and they don't know if it's going to have any effect on you. They don't know how the dang on vaccine is going to affect you, whether you're drinking Coca-Cola or water or grape Kool-Aid or red Kool-Aid or Sprite or Squirt. They don't know how it's going to interact with any of the vaccines that you have at all. They did not know. Therefore, you can't come back and sue them. And again, let me reiterate this. I'm not talking to you who felt that what you were doing for you and your family was the best thing, and you might have, you might have been scared. You didn't know. I'm not talking to you. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And again, with your wound being open right now, I'm pouring Himalayan salt and the big giant crystals of Himalayan salt in it is what I'm doing. And I hope it burns, and I hope y'all feel all the scratches and all that from the Himalayan salt. Let it burn, burn, burn. Told you. Trust the science. Yeah, keep on trusting it. How's that working out? Anyway, folks, let me know what y'all think about this by leaving it in the comments below after this video. Do y'all think that Fauci is going to go to jail? Do you think that when if Trump becomes president, that he's really going to go after Fauci for criminal crimes or whatever like that? Or do you think he's going to be protected? Let's keep it real, because there's a lot of people that have stock options and all that stuff when it came to pharmaceuticals. Just saying. Anyway, don't forget to leave a comment. I try to say comment and leave. Don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to click this before you get out of here. By all means, I know y'all are tired of me saying it, but please, you guys all have a cell phone. Get into the cell phone. If you know that you have one person that would benefit from watching this channel, please encourage them to subscribe to the channel, y'all. Let's keep this thing going. You think we can hit about 500,000 by the end of this year? Let's do it. I am Ty Smith, Mountain Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.